Hello everyone, I'm Chase of Rocky Mountain ATV and this is my spotlight and review of the pre-ride Protectant from MuddyBuddy. Alright everyone, thanks for tuning in. So today we're giving you a closer look at this pre-ride Protectant from MuddyBuddy. Two main functions to this stuff. The first one is that it actually helps prevent mud from caking onto your machine, whether it's your ATV, your UTV, or your dirt bike. It makes cleanup a whole lot easier. And the second function that it serves is that it actually helps protect certain components on your machine. Well, how does it do that? Well, very simply. When you put this stuff on, first of all, application's super simple. You're going to clean your machine, whether it's your ATV, UTV, or your dirt bike, get it nice and clean, dry it. Then once you've done that, you're just going to apply a light mist of this stuff to basically the entire machine. Now you do want to avoid certain areas like your rider contact points, so like your seat, your grips, you want to avoid your brake rotors as well. But you apply a light mist, and once you've done that, what it does, it actually creates a protective barrier. And this protective barrier, MuddyBuddy says, will help prevent rust and oxidation to your painted parts, your anodized finish, your cast aluminum, as well as your plastics. So you're getting that protective barrier, but also for other parts like your radiator hoses, your CV boots on your UTV or your ATV, your wiring harnesses, things of that nature. This will help keep those materials supple and pliable. So it's going to help keep those in better condition for a long period of time. So what's nice about this is that I've used it, and I'll give you my own firsthand experience. This stuff actually works really well. So last week I sprayed my entire dirt bike down with this stuff, and I went out riding. Now the track that I was riding, it was first thing in the morning. I was one of the first people out there. It's a clay-based track, so when it gets wet and muddy, that mud sticks like no other. And after I applied this stuff, I applied it everywhere. My shrouds, my number plates, underneath my fenders, my linkage, my swing arm, my skid plate. After coming back from my first moto, I'm sure a lot of you have been there. You're just expecting to have a ton of mud caked on your machine. You're going to spend 20 minutes cleaning it off before your next ride. That wasn't the case. Now, was there still mud and dirt on my dirt bike? Absolutely. You're not going to avoid that entirely, but there was substantially less mud built up on my bike compared to what I'm used to. Even on my linkage, where normally you just got mud caked on there, there was relatively little mud on there. So it does do a great job of preventing mud from building up. And also, because you had that protective barrier on there, you essentially had that film, it makes cleanup a lot easier too. A lot of people don't realize that, one, pressure washers, if you don't use those correctly, can actually do more damage than good if you're forcing dirt and grime into your seals. But also, there's a lot of cleaners out there that people use that are corrosive that can cause damage as well. So if you ask me, if you have a product that's going to make less mud stick, also make it easier to clean, that is a win in my book. So I actually think it works well, but here's what I will caution you on. Now for ATVs and UTVs, probably not nearly as big of a deal, but for a dirt bike, here's what I found. Because like I said, I sprayed down my entire bike. This stuff's petroleum based, so it is kind of greasy feeling when you get it on your hands. And what I found is after I sprayed down my entire bike, well, every time I had to go grab my bike to move it, maybe put on my hip to take it off the stand, put it back on the stand, I would get this stuff on me, and because it is greasy, I just didn't like that feeling. So what I would recommend as a dirt bike owner is use it to spray down underneath your fenders, your linkage, your swing arm, maybe spray it on a rag and then apply it to your swing arm to help avoid any overspray onto your rotors. But essentially, I would just avoid the areas on your dirt bike that you're going to be touching often. Otherwise, you do kind of get it on you and it is greasy. Other than that, I think the stuff works great. It does what it's supposed to. So if you guys have questions, you want some more feedback, I'm more than happy to give that to you. But as you can see, it comes in a spray bottle. And when you apply this stuff, you don't need to be too liberal, just a light mist on your machine, that will cover it. Now, some advice that I do have is you take the MuddyBuddy spray and you combine that with some skid plate foam. I've got this from Tusk here. You can see two different thicknesses. I will take the skid plate foam, I will cut it up, I will stuff it into my skid plate, I'll put it underneath my brake pedal, areas that I don't want mud building up. You combine that with the MuddyBuddy spray, you've got about as close to a mud-proof bike, ATV or UTV as you're gonna get. If you guys have questions or comments, leave those below. We'll get those answered and pick yours up. Click on the link or head over to RockyMountainATVMC.com. Orders over $75 ship free. If you guys like this video, get subscribed to our YouTube channel, and that will keep you up to date. I'm Chase. We'll see you on the trails.